disagreeable. This is disagreeable. I am disagreeable. Probably look a little bit disheveled or whatever, but that don't matter right now. Matter of fact, let me get this out of here. Yo, so this should be a little better. All right. We talk about isolation and a plan and the power of it and being truly determined. I think it's also I think it's interesting that that determined and detriment sound similar, you know. I think that's interesting because when you're truly determined about something, you might have to break pattern and do things in a way that may be detrimental to your current. I'm talking right now. When you're truly determined, the pattern changes that you're going to have to make are going to be detrimental to your current existence and your current state of being. You feel me? And that's what you want. You want destruction. You want to be able to create a level of chaos that you can then reorder, and, bring back together in a different way. Don't be afraid of, and this is something that I can convey this message. I've never really been this is an odd thing to say. I am a bit cautious, but I'm not risk adverse. You feel me? I I understand that chaos can lead to something negative at times, but I've never ran away from chaos because I knew chaos only means that this order has been broken, and that is offering me the opportunity to create new order. You feel me? I'm gonna roll up a little joint. Yeah. But that gives me the opportunity to create new order. You feel me? So you need to destroy to rebuild. You cannot destroy living within the same pattern. The pattern may augment itself, but an augmentation is not a destruction and a change. It's a change, but it's not drastic enough. You feel me? We're not talking about boob jobs here. You feel me? It is not drastic enough of a change. And I'm gathering these thoughts to put this together for a better presentation at another time because I feel like this is very important and it hit me. Because I've always had I'm I wouldn't call myself a loner, but I don't like people bothering me that much. And I've always had like a bit of idiocy, but not real idiocy. If you're stupid, propagandized idiocy. Like you're so propagandized that you don't even have the opportunity to be intelligent or you have when you're fully propagandized, be stupid. When you're fully propagandized, you don't even get to decide to be stupid. You're going to be exactly what you've been programmed to be. You feel me? And the only way to release yourself from that programming is to break pattern. Most people are lazy and scared to death of their life. That's why back in the days I would give people baby steps to break pattern. Because back in the days, I wasn't trying to fully change my life. I was more just trying to introduce now a low level of this and introduce novelty in your life. For example, for example, one of the most for example, one of the most basic things you can do. One of the most basic things you can do is let me give you an easy one. You can take a different way to or from wherever place that you on the regular. You feel me? If you go to your job or whatever, something like that, somewhere that you go all the time, you take the same way, you don't even have to think about it. It's fully engaged, it's fully locked into your reality, it's a fully part of your pattern, your decision making, and all that shit. Do something that you usually do, but do it differently. That's the first way to break pattern and to bring novelty into your existence. You feel me? Trudy Long says hi. I say hi to the bot, Trudy Long. Trudy, to you just saying hi, it's probably the algorithm or the AI behind this YouTube shit that's trying to encourage me by with this interaction. I'm not getting to that right now. Those who don't understand strong AI, you need to look that up and how these things that are happening in the media or maybe quote unquote reality, if these things are even happening, they're, let me not say all things, but very highly chaotic events that don't make any sense are most likely being staged for the artificial intelligence to observe and therefore make itself stronger. But I'm not going to get deeper into that. Okay, let me get back on track. There is something to constituting yourself to death or victory. You feel me? This is corny because Joe Rogan has said this shit before. This is corny, but I'll say it now. Burn the boats. If you have a goal, my bad, I'm rolling up. If you have a goal, I'm not saying you can't pussyfoot into it. I'm not saying you can't, I'm gonna work on my goal. Let me take a sip of water, that boy fucked me up. I'm not saying that you can't pussyfoot and slowly work on your goal. And here's another thing. And I read this years ago. I might run through it again because it's a small book. But if you ever read Siddhartha was it him himself? Yeah, he named his son Feder. And Feder literally means tether. Now, back in the days, it's like it's tethered to this life, to this mundaneness or whatever, the mundane reality. Because once you have a son, a tether, a family, that is a giant pattern locking you further into whatever this is. You feel me? It's the same way that people are in a situation right now with their family and their kids, and you feel stuck and you want to make a change in your life and do this or do whatever, and yet you have these things to make it simple. You're like, oh, my kids need this and this and that. No, we can simplify all this. Excuse me. We can simplify all this to these are patterns in my life now that seem extremely important. I feel like I hear somebody out here. I'm about to shoot a motherfucker. Hold up. Give me a second. Let me look outside real quick. Because when I pulled up, there was some nigga outside. Hold on. Yeah. All right, we good. But yeah, this isn't an organized presentation. I'm more just gathering the thoughts for what we're fully gonna do. I mean, I'm low key paranoid right now. I'm checking the perimeter. Cause I'm over here at my sister's house, helping her with something while she's busy. So this is not my crib, and I feel like people might know that she's not here. So if somebody want to do some funny stuff, then we might have to get funny. We might have to get funny. All right, we're all good. We're all good. Yeah, and I'm rolling up a J. I'm taking my time with this. You feel me? Hold up. Yeah, I'm taking my time with this. Because this will be a full presentation with imagery and video references and all that bullshit later. In isolation and how it change you. You feel me? And also how having an organized plan is beyond important. You feel me? These things, and if anybody here randomly came into this show and they're like, why am I hearing this guy talk about this? How did I end up here? Why am I listening to this guy? Listen now. This is why you were listening to this. And I'm going to give you this sauce right now. Clearly define your goal or your plan. Clear definition of the goal or the plan. You feel me? Once you have that, there are things that you're going to need to complete this goal. You're going to need the knowledge. You're going to need confidence. You're going to need discipline and an edge. That is for everything that you want to accomplish in life. Knowledge, discipline, confidence, and edge. Magical family, what's good? It's been a minute. I don't even know if you can hear me or maybe people can't hear me. You know? But I'm saying it regardless. I've been locked in, loving the message. Okay, so you can hear me. Oh, okay, for sure. Let me get into it. So, let me get this all out. Because if anybody here randomly doing more, that's another one of my shows. Are you doing enough? Are you doing enough? But that's another one. Let me get back to the point here. Clearly define your goal. That goal is going to need knowledge, discipline, and an edge to acquire. You feel me? So here's what you want to do. I want you, and I know I really don't show people this shit because this is really for me. I know people don't really do shit for them. This is really for me, but I'm willing to show it to other people and help them. But I feel like it's I don't want to force nothing on you. You want to be fucking whatever you are, then be whatever you are. I'm taking the time to create flow charts, interactive, to lock into this whole plan right here. You feel me? So maybe I'll mention this more, and if people are actually interested, they will ask me, and I'll give it. I'm just not going to post it up. And I created this for me, by me. Straight FUBU shit. FUMU. For me, by me. Straight FUBU shit. For by me. You feel me? This shit came out of the ether. So what you want to do is write down your goal clearly, why you want it. You want to have a why and a why not for all things. Have a why and a why not. Why not? You feel me? What's the goal? Why and why you want to acquire what you hope to accomplish. You feel me? What's it going to take to accomplish this? We're going to need a sufficient amount of knowledge. Knowledge. And actually, usually I don't order these because I'm trying to explain this from the position of starting from zero. Most people are not starting from zero. Most people have had an idea or have attempted something for a long time. Either you had an idea or you have attempted something for a long time. So if that is what you have done, what you need to do is be honest with yourself and stop lying. Know thyself. Have a confrontation with yourself. I want this goal. I want to accomplish this. I want to become this. I know this requires this. If you don't know what it requires, you are lacking the knowledge of what it requires. You feel me? Why don't you have the knowledge of what it requires to acquire what you're moving towards? Hold on, how do I get off the internet? This is some bullshit. Oh, give me a second. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I dropped off the internet for some reason. Hold on, give me a second. Can I fix this? Am I back on the internet? All right, I think I'm back on the internet. I don't even know how that happened. But Since Magical Family said I was cutting out, I'm going to cover it one more time. You need to acquire the goal, you feel me? If you don't have the knowledge of the steps to acquire the goal, that is a part of knowledge. Now, why don't you have the knowledge? That might be a part of discipline. You feel me? That might be a part of discipline. Why you don't have the knowledge. You feel me? Now, why haven't I acquired the knowledge? Why don't I have the discipline to acquire the knowledge? It might be your confidence. You don't have the self-belief to even believe that moving forward and doing what needs to be done will yield results. You feel me? So what I like to do, since I'm still creating this system, what I like to do is I write down, you write down, for one you write down discipline, knowledge, confidence, edge. I want you to write those down from your worst area to your best area. You feel me? So you're going to number it 1 through 4. For example, if your discipline's lacking the most, I need to wake up at a certain time, I need to do the things that you know you're not doing, because when people are fucking up, they know they're fucking up. You feel me? So you want to label that first. Number 1, my discipline is my biggest problem. Number 2, my knowledge is my biggest problem. Number 3, my confidence. For everybody, it's going to be different. Some people are highly confident, and they don't really have discipline. And the crazy part is, confidence comes from the mind. That shit will overrun everything. You feel me? But I don't want to go too far. Now, after you list discipline, confidence, edge, and knowledge in the whatever order you need to order them, from your weakest point to your strongest point, where you need to improve the most on, and what you don't need as much improvement. Everything needs to be improved upon, but things that aren't the thorn in your side at the moment. You feel me? Now, each one of those, you're going to go in that order. So let's, for example, discipline. You're going to write down. You know you're not going to type it. You're going to type it later. First step is writing down. You're going to write with a pen and paper. Big letters. Discipline lacking. And then you're going to write number 1, whatever that is. Number 2, whatever that is. Number 3, whatever. You're going to write them and you're going to number them. One by one. You feel me? Then you're going to go to knowledge lacking. Lay out what you're lacking knowledge-wise. You feel me? Confidence, and so on and so forth. You feel me? And then what comes from that? The next step is you're going to take that same list in that same order, because we're going to fix things from our weakest points to our strongest points. You feel me? So as you've done that first list, your next list is going to be discipline fixes. And then you're going to reference your discipline lacking and look at number 1, whatever that was. You're going to go to discipline fixes, number 1, and write down how you fixed it. Because you know how to fix it. You know how to fix it. And these things flow into each other. Like if you can see it visually and write like arrows to get on Miro or some shit like that, and write like, oh, my discipline, boom, my discipline is connected to my confidence. I never thought I was good enough. I don't really think I can do it. I need to think I can do it before I can even do it. So let me fix the confidence. Let me connect that to the discipline. The discipline will fix the knowledge, because through the discipline I will be studying and acquiring the knowledge. And through the knowledge, I will get a holistic view of whatever I'm trying to accomplish. And that, in the end, will allow me to develop an edge. It will allow me to develop an edge so I can be competitive in whatever market I'm competing in. This shit ain't rocket science, man. This ain't rocket science. Get back to the basics. Write shit with your hands. And now, after I gave you all that sauce right there, here's the main part. Get the fuck away from people. Social media wise, and people you've been around. If you've been hanging around with the same people your whole life, and either one of two things. If you've been hanging around the same people your whole life, and you're this person, or I'm not even tell which one I am, because it's gonna sound like I'm bragging. If you're the person who was always helping motherfuckers and offering opportunity and coming with new ideas, creating and offering endless novelty and shit like that, and other people weren't doing that for you, get away from them. If you were the person who's always asking for help or this or that and or whatever, get away from people. Get into yourself, your mind. You feel me? And let me add this. You know what? I'm gonna write this down later and do a full show on it. But let me add this. You have to constitute yourself to death. And this is why most people aren't, and I don't want to be negative to you or whatever that is. I'm just being honest. This is why most people are gonna fail. Because you are not gonna constitute yourself to death. I'm gonna die before I go back in the same pattern. Nigga, I'll die. Before I go back in the same pattern and repeat history forever, I'll die. I don't care if there's no examples. I don't care if nobody else in your whole family never did it before. I don't care none of that bullshit. I don't care about none of that. I'ma win or I'ma die. And I don't want to yell at you guys. I don't want to yell. It's just I'm a bit bombastic and performative. It helps get the message across. You know, I'm black and we on our Bruce Lee shit. You call that a kick? I need emotional content. You feel me? You feel me? And to me, I'm very blessed. I'm highly favored. I'm loved by the universe. You feel me? Just because people will be like, oh, I've gone through this, I've gone through that. I've gone through a lot of shit too, nigga, you bitch. This is why I don't be talking to people. I remember, like, I never thought my what I've been through was all this or that. And then I'd be around people who I consider, you know, we used to be friends or associates, and we were talking about our lives and shit like that. And sometimes I start looking at the look of their face when I tell them about things I've been through in my life and with my family and things like that. And you can see the look of horror. You feel me? I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh shit. I thought we were all going through it. You feel me? I say that to say this. I don't give a fuck what you've been through. If you are thinking, breathing, and living, you better be trying to make progress and break pattern, or you can be in hell, because this is also hell. And if you decide to lay down in hell, guess what? The demons will come over you, they'll roll your dumb ass over and fucking put Vaseline in your butt cheeks. You feel me? So yeah, let me not get too far off the path. You need to constitute yourself to death. Oh yeah, and I remember what I was saying. I am blessed, I'm favored. There are things in my life that I never took advantage of. Oh, let me not say things. People that everybody is taking advantage of, but I always say I'm not gonna be like these niggas. So I broke pattern in a certain way, but I didn't break all the pattern by indulging in the streets. You feel me? By indulging in the streets, I didn't 100% break pattern. So I bring that back to say you need to constitute yourself to death, because I'm gonna say something. Should I just lay it out truthfully, or should I make it vague? So I don't want people to think I'm talking about my life or bragging or doing this or that, because I'm not bragging. I'm on the mission right now. I'm not bragging. Let me just give you an example. If you were living in the highest earning area in South Florida with a condo in an iconic skyscraper that is in, every time they show the Miami skyline, every time they show the news, in an iconic building that's facing east over the water, over the park, skyscraper, penthouse level. And in order, and you've been there for many years, almost a goddamn decade. And in order for you to completely break pattern, you have to walk away from that. Now, listen to me carefully. In order to break pattern fully, I had to walk away from that. And what does walking away from that entail? How do I say this? Walking away from that entails this, because you can, here's the thing. When you become singularly focused and concentrating on a goal, things are going to suffer. Other things are going to suffer. It is what it is. The pendulum is going to swing. Now, when your business or whatever, however you make money, or this is suffering, do you go back to that? Now, I'm just give you my example. Because you know what? I'm going to give you my example because it constitutes me further to death or winning. You feel me? When the business that you built is not going right, because your partners are dumb. I'm not even gonna blame people, but it is what it is. People know what it is. When your business ain't going right, and you have a high-end lifestyle, a very expensive lifestyle in the most expensive part of one of the most expensive states, this is where your real grit comes into play. This is where your real grit comes into play. Because I've been out the coke selling game for a while, way before that. You feel me? But people love me. People love me. My face is good. They don't love me. They love me because I'm making fucking money. Niggas ain't got no love for me. But shout out to a couple niggas. You know, Dread, that's my nigga, Halo, Magical Family and all these things. But when you see this lifestyle, I'm only giving this as an example. The golden handcuffs, shit that people don't want to let go of. When you see, damn, this is suffering. This is suffering. This is something that can't be played with. This takes real money to maintain. And when people are coming to you because your face is so good, like, here, take 50 pounds of weed. No, here, take this 100 pounds of weed. Yeah, here, take this 100 pounds of weed. You feel me? I just got this. Here, take this half the key. Take this half the key. Yeah, you can just pay me back. I know you're gonna get up. Pay me back when you get no pressure. Just here's to run it up. And we know all the mundane. What's the right word? What's the right word for the mundane shit that comes from? We know when you got the coke, and when you got hundreds of pounds of weed, there's more fun that comes with that. You're risking your life. I risked my life for a long time, but let's not get into that. More comes with that than just making money. Let's take out the negative things right now. More comes with that. It's like the devil's enticing you with everything possible. Oh, the powder's back on deck? That means models are just popping up and sucking dick and pretending they like you. You feel me? Off the thought of you being the powder man. It's not even like you feeding the bitches and shit. Off the thought of you being the powder man. You feel me? Loser ass bitches are coming through for some weed and they're gonna fucking bust it open. Feel me? Not even because you requested. Not even because you requested. Bitches gonna bust it open for like a 7 of fucking weed. So you're gonna have hoes coming through and then you're gonna have more money coming in. And then when you're outside, when you go to the restaurants, which I maintained this a long time after cocaine, but when you're going to, and let me mention this, when I was in Claw, Michelin star rated restaurants, when I was in Komodo and Brickell, when we're in what's that bullshit? Damn, what's that? Los Felixes or whatever, another Michelin star rated place and shit like that. When we're in these spots, this was after the coke, dog. So I know the difference of what just having money and having the coke does. You feel me? The coke is power because we're surrounded by demons. We're surrounded by demons, and that's what they want. You feel me? But I digress. I say that to say this. You have to be willing to say no to everything. I am willing to go from living on top of a high-rise skyscraper facing east over the ocean. I'm willing to go through that and go to homeless or dead before I stop going after this goal. Before I stop trying to complete this mission, I'm willing to go to homeless or dead, nigga. And I really mean that shit. A lot of people say that shit. Oh, yeah, I'll do this. I'm willing to do anything and all that shit. You not like me. And I'm here to set. You know what? I don't want to discourage you. We might be able to be similar. You might be able to break pattern and continue and do better. But as of right now, you're not like me. You haven't done what I've done. You haven't seen what I've seen, lived how I lived, and you haven't put shit down to win. Like I said, and Magical Family is going to understand that if he's still here. Magical Family will understand this clearly. The work has been done. It's preordained. And it's beautiful to watch reality catch up to your work. To watch, nigga, we living in the future. And it's a beautiful thing to slowly watch reality catch up to your work. Because when you're within your mind, and when you're working in isolation, You are doing quantum. You are doing quantum mechanics. You're basically doing quantum mechanics. When you isolate yourself, you start studying and thinking a certain way and trying to change your thoughts and change how you move and break every pattern. You are doing quantum mechanics, quantum works. And we are in a mundane reality. It's going to take time for physical reality to catch up to you. You have to be comfortable with that. And here's the thing. Physical reality is still moving at the speed of light. Huh? Now, think about what I just said. Your mental processes, your thoughts, your emotions are immeasurable amounts beyond the speed of light. It's going to take this mundane reality, light, it's going to take the speed of light to catch up to you. And when it does catch up, it's going to feel like you didn't do nothing. Huh? It's going to feel like you did nothing. You feel me? I used to try to explain this to people back in the day. I'm so immersed in the work that I don't feel the work. If I look at it and I break it down, I calculated it. Oh, you studied this much time, this many days, you went through all this, you acquired all this knowledge, you learned a new language, you know how to read a price chart, you know how to blah, 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 blah. I can break it down in mundane terms. You feel me? But that's me having to concentrate on mundane reality. I don't even feel this shit, dog. I wish I could have, and I want people to be. I can't give this to people like my little system and how to acquire goals and better your life and whatever. That's a solid ironclad golden system. You feel me? But I'm trying to be able to give people the esoteric occult method. And I don't know if it's just in my blood, if it's just a part of me, that when shit got to get done, it gets done to a high level, and I don't feel it. I don't feel the work. Shit is just getting done. I'm just doing shit and having a lot of fun at the same time. And I used to attribute that to it was because you were in the streets. You were in the streets. You allotted yourself more time. People were fucking kissing your ass for multiple reasons. You're cool nigga. You're highly attractive. You know, all that other shit. But then you got the cocaine on top of that. You feel me? So I used to attribute it to that. Like, you're just having a bunch of fun out here. You're making all this money. You don't even feel like you're working. Niggas are stressing out and all this shit. No, that is my natural state of being. And it was being squandered and wasted within the pattern of being my epigenetics, my past, what I've observed, and shit like that, where I was not supposed to be in life. But when you are these humans, these empty vessels, you don't have no individuality. You have a soul, you have a spirit, you have like a personality a bit, I guess. But how you're moving through this matrix is just you being programmed. You're programmed with certain things, and hopefully, praying to God, asking God, hopefully, the people who you were around and the circumstances that programmed you, hopefully it programmed you with something good and useful. But a lot of us didn't get programmed with nothing good or useful. Nothing good or useful. And it is your job to break those patterns and introduce novelty in your life. That is the meaning of life. Oh, this guy just thinks he broke down life and told me the meaning of life. Yes, I told you the meaning of life. Stop crying. Stop looking for it. Stop looking for it. That is the meaning of life. Breaking patterns, introducing novelty, creating your own reality. That's the meaning of life. That's it. And I see people will lean on certain things, but I don't want to be dismissive about this, because I feel like your children and all these things are part of your meaning to life, maybe. But a lot of people use that thing as a true accomplishment, like I really did something. Nigga, you busted a nut. Or if you're a woman, you laid back and did nothing, and a nigga busted a nut in you. And then that is the biological sequence of things that happen. A child was created. That is not an accomplishment. That's not an accomplishment. You feel me? People don't like to hear it like this, but that's just like taking a piss, a shit, burping, farting. It is a biological function. You feel me? You didn't do nothing with those kids. You brought some losers in the world. Some losers in the world that I gotta live in a nicer area. I gotta live in a nicer area. Make sure that I got my front desk security. We got security walking down the halls and all that shit when I'm in the condo and all that shit to stay away from you niggas. Huh? And while I'm thinking about this, one thing about pattern, no matter how much, how do I put it this way? We need to be in a state of flux. No matter how pleasurable the pattern may seem, it is to a detriment. It is to a detriment. You feel me? No matter how pleasurable the pattern may seem, it is to your detriment. Pleasure will come, pause, and it's fleeting. You feel me? You're not guaranteed joy, even though it's most likely probably going to happen because the pendulum swings. You're not guaranteed pleasure. You are guaranteed suffering. Huh? Hear me out. You are guaranteed suffering. So, since suffering seems to be a baseline part of this reality, what can we do with that? How about you create your own suffering? Huh? How about you create your own suffering and let that lead? Because your own suffering will probably be connected to pattern breaking, because your pattern is a part of comfort. So breaking that pattern is going to lead to what you may describe or feel as suffering. You feel me? Halo says, the inertia is real but fleeting. The meaning of life is development. The meaning of life is development. I can't say it's not, but that and then that's where ideas like negative and positive come in, and good or bad and things like that. Because you can become a greater piece of shit. You know? And I wonder if that's like a worthy cause. You know, what if that is really just your path to become a bigger piece of shit? Like I was about to make a horrible example. I don't want to make it that horrible, and people get a visceral reaction when they listen to this shit later. How I say it? Do you think somebody could find pride in being the best killer? And you didn't do it for fame. Like, you're a killer. You didn't do it for fame. You didn't get caught or nothing. You just know that over the years, you develop yourself to be a nicer, and when I say nice, I mean better, a nicer and nicer killer. You never got caught. You became really ill with this shit. You were world renowned for it in your little circles of people who need assassins or whatever. Did you live a full life? And that's a, yo, the thought exercises are crazy. That's a crazy pattern to choose. Because now I'm going down the thought exercise. I'm like, so maybe the killer didn't program himself. Maybe the killer came up in the circumstance and the environment that made him think that was cool. And maybe his mission in life was to break that pattern. And even though you became a multi-billionaire assassin on the low for the small hats and Palantirs and all this shit, you still failed at life. You failed. And you probably have a wet pillow in prison. You cry in the dark. Flashbacks of innocent kids wet up in the park. I'll just say that some paths are more fruitful than others. Facts. And that's why I need it's good Magical Family is here to bring me back to baseline of some of these ideas. Because, my thoughts run the gambit from outstanding. My thoughts run the gambit from outstanding to preposterous. My thoughts run the gamut from outstanding to preposterous. You feel me? And when you're such a creative motherfucker, this is for all people. You gotta reel yourself in sometimes. Because your creativity will lead to extreme chaos, and you will be happy with it. You'll just be there smiling, looking at the fire, warming yourself by the glow of the chaos. You feel me? Looking at the beauty of the chaos. When you're truly an artist and you reach into the etheric fields and the Akashic records or the quantum field, whatever the fuck you get that shit from, I think you can become too in love with chaos. Because sometimes I see chaos and and things that are not beneficial to anybody. And I be thinking that's just cool. You feel me? And I'm not talking about horrors, like people doing things to kids. Don't even try to put me in them box, you weirdo niggas. I'm not even talking about shit like that. I'm just talking about. Let me give a small example. Let me give a small example about how I like chaos and I like to see how things will develop. You feel me? When I used to be out in the clubs hustling and shit all the time and interacting with people who I didn't really want to interact with, you feel me? It was a job. You feel me? Yes, I've been robbed. It's a part of the job. I remember I would just throw things out there just to see what would happen in social environments. I saw most people were cowards. They wouldn't say or they wouldn't do anything outside the norm. Everybody would get into their little box immediately. You feel me? Especially like bitches come around, the guys start acting a certain way. A certain person comes around, they start acting a certain way. They fall into the pattern or the line of what you're supposed to be doing. You feel me? I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I throw something in there, which at the time could be seen as fucked up. I just do that to see what's gonna happen. See what's gonna happen. And this goes connected all the way back to like when I was like in ninth. Was this high school days? Is this pre-high school? That has to be early high school days when I was chilling with my nigga Mark Espinosa. We haven't chatted in a long time, but this nigga's gonna be my nigga for life. This is the maybe the Filipino version of myself. You feel me? And he's a successful mathematician and magician now. It'll let you know the type of people I've been hanging with since early, what we've been into, and the type of ideas we were discussing. You feel me? Back in the days, we were talking about just life in general. I don't know how we got into it. We started talking about deja vu. And we're like, yeah. And he was like, yo, you ever tried to stop it? And I was like, what? Hold on, I want to roll something up. If I start breaking, let me know. He was like, yeah. We're talking about deja vu, but I don't know how we got into the conversation, but he was like, yo, have you ever tried to stop it? I thought about it. I was like, nah. Yo, we're young as fuck. And shout out to Mark, who was a magician and a mathematician now. Mark was in the streets before me. Helping pay his mama's bills. Niggas had to move them blues to pay the bills, but let's not get into that. That was Broward shit. I was from Miami. My nigga Mark was from Pearl Springs and shit. You feel me? But let's get back to the deja vu. When he said to me, like, have you ever tried to stop it? He got a real serious look on his face. I was like, nah, no, that's interesting. You feel me? You'd have to be aware of it. Now, to become aware of the deja vu, you have to do some type of of course, it's usually by the end of it, when you're aware of it. If you want to become aware of the deja vu earlier, you're going to have to do some practices. And to me, what helped with that is astral dreaming. Lucid dreaming practices. You feel me? And we're not going to go down this path, but here's some sauce I'll give you right now. How come when I put, yo, hold up. My bad. Let me get this right here. I don't know what's up with this table, this big ass nice kitchen table. I sit at this thing, and it kicks me off the Wi-Fi if I put it flat on the table. Hold on. Let me know if we're still good. Because I want to get this out. Let me know if we're still good. Actually, I don't care. I'm talking. All right, so he asked me, he's like, yo, you ever tried to stop it? And I'm like, nah. Now, Mark was probably already doing this, right? But in order to stop it, I said that wrong. In order to be aware that it's happening, to have an opportunity to try to stop it, you need to catch it early enough. I found success in that through lucid dreaming practices. One thing you will learn once you get really nice at lucid dreaming, remembering your dreams, creating your dreams, doing all types of things in there, having more control over your dreams translates into more control over your waking life in some weird way. It's muffled, but you can hear me. Bullshit. Hold up. How the... Give me a second. All right, back on this shit or what? It is what it is. All right. So one thing that can be surprising is once you get into lucid dreaming practice, and here's something I learned later in life, and these things probably should be used in conjunction. What's in your stomach, especially before you go to sleep, or in your digestive system in general, highly affects your dreams and lucid dreaming. That is a side note. So once you get nice at lucid dreaming and understanding how to do that, I'm not going to give you the tools, taking a rock to you into dreamland, and every time you go into dreamland, I leave a rock there, I'm leaving a pile of rocks, I'm leaving a bigger rock, I'm leaving a boulder, I'm leaving a mountain. Always checking clocks and times, digital clocks and shit like that. Every time I walk in and out of a door, this becomes annoying to people. I don't do this anymore. But anytime you walk in and out of a door, I'm gonna flick your light on and off. Flick it on and off. Feel me? I'm gonna look at my hands, count my fingers. Every time I walk through a doorway, I might touch the top of the door. I no longer do that because I hate people touching walls in my house. And I'm not gonna do that to other people. But I say that to say this. I said all that to say this. So he was breaking down like the deja vu, and if you ever try to stop it, and I was like, no, and he breaks it down. He had a real serious look on his face. He was like, and we're jits. We're like a ninth grade or something. He's like, yo, you can't stop it. You can't stop it. No matter what, how crazy of a thing that I do, it comes back. The water settles back to where it was supposed to be in the first place. You feel me? And I could tell from his reaction, he found this quite troubling. Me, I don't know what to make of it yet. I don't really give a shit, to be real. And here's the thing, people talk about things like dying and things like that. Like they're tired of this, they wanna die, And this might just be my aggression, my hard-headedness, or something like that. I don't want this shit to end. Yes, life is corny. And most people are gonna. My life is corny. I'm tired of it. I've been tired of it forever. When I was living when I was living in a penthouse, I was tired of it then. When I was selling all the work, when I'm traveling, I was tired of it then. You feel me? When I'm leaving 5-star restaurants in fucking Colombia, I'm tired of it then. I'm tired of it. And this might be fucked up with me. This might just be aggression. Right? Say, I'm not gonna lose. And here's how my mind has shifted a bit too since being isolated. You usually think you have to be proactive. And that's why I love trading. Because trading is about doing one of my favorite things my favorite things to do, which is nothing. I like to do nothing. I have a lot of money, more money than people fucking touching their lives, you feel me? Bitcoin, we're talking about millions of dollars, you feel me? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, we're talking about millions and millions of dollars, you feel me? Cash, most people want to hold a money phone to their head. They have a vision of this big bullshit pile of dirty money by their head. Most people never held $150,000 in their hands, you feel me? And just had it there. And just had it there. Not like, oh, I'm taking this to go purchase something or go do this or do that. Nah, I just have 150. You feel me? I made a big mistake back in the days. When I first started running up money and getting it like this, I was helping other people get money and shit. By my closest friends, when they're around me, I'd be like, yo, I throw them like 100 racks. Not give it to them. When they're around me in my crib, I give them like 100 racks. Because they making money. You fucking your money up because you want to be cool in the streets. Me, I don't want to be cool. I want to be that. I'm the base. You feel me? I give a nigga 100 racks. Here, hold this shit. Absorb it, nigga. Absorb the energy. This shit is not far away. This shit is not something unattainable. Absorb the energy, nigga. We here now. And I was doing that because I love them niggas. Thinking back, that was a great mistake. Demons don't know how to accept motivation. I don't do shit anymore. I'm not trying to motivate nobody to do shit, suffer and die, bro. For real. I've had people mad at me for motivating them. Nigga, I'm talking about concepts, ideas, and moving into new realities, and you mad because you think I'm talking about your reality. And since you're tribal, not just tribal to your group, you're tribal to this reality itself. So when I challenge this reality, niggas get mad. It took me a while to realize that. Because it's all they know. It's all they know.
You feel me? Have given niggas way too much credit, you know? But I will not let that, excuse me, I will not let that destroy me and from being who I am. I don't need to like you to be your teacher. And that's what I was here for, what I was placed here on earth for. As far as life accomplishments, I did that shit 10, 15 years ago. The meaning of my life here and if affecting other people's lives is your meaning of life, I've done it already. You feel me?
My bad, I'm rolling a J.
But we want to take this to the next level. And why, and I try to keep trading separate from the channel, but I think I might fully integrate it because trading is about uncommon thinking. Uncommon thinking. It's about pushing emotions and manipulation. It's life itself. And once you can read the chart, you can read life. And once you start getting rewarded from the chart, you realize what got me these rewards was uncommon. Maybe I need to stop being common altogether. Common in my reactions, common in my responses, stop being common in my, it's a simple word, why am I losing this word right now? In my actions, my responses, and all that. And here's another thing. Here's some more sauce. When you don't know what to do, or you feel slightly confused, don't do nothing. It's okay to do nothing. It's okay to do nothing. It's okay to analyze. It's okay to gather data. You feel me?
Who else? Somebody's
been sitting in this whole show. I think Magical Family's hanging around, and somebody else has been here. And hopefully it's that stalker nigga who I'm putting that lawsuit on and shit. Hopefully it's you, cause you need this too, dog. I don't want you destroyed. I don't want you destroyed. I just want to teach a lesson that you don't play with certain people. You feel me? I don't want you destroyed.
At first I did.
Because I was still connected to my old life, my old patterns, my street shit creeping up, it's this reality, this evil, malevolent AI trying to push you back into the negative pattern. You feel me? What did I do? I did nothing. And I was mad as shit. But I didn't do anything. I sat and let it chill, and I was like, no, I will not let this demon. You're not even a demon, you a bitch. I'm not gonna let this succubus take me off my path. Matter of fact, I'm going further into my path. The life that I came from, it was cat and mouse. Nigga, actually it wasn't cat and mouse, ain't no mouse in faggot. It was life that I came from, it was predator and so-called prey or whatever. The law was not my friend, the law was my enemy. You feel me? Now I'm moving into a new reality. The law is my friend, my shield, and my sword. And I will wield that shit with a... Nigga, hold up.
No, let me roll the J up. Did I put the bitch backwards or something?
Alright. So yeah, that's just an example of like, life will try to pull you back into your old life. And people think like, oh, and let me just say this, because I'm a square now, I can tell the truth about all this shit. We weren't just operating like bad man in the streets. Nigga, I'm a genius. How you think I ran up so much fucking money? We were operating like bad man on the fucking internet too. You feel me? And I'm not a scammer, was never a scammer. We were operating like bad man on the internet too. I don't need to be nowhere near you to get you done bad, to get into street shit, to get into shit that I don't even, shit that, hold on, let me check this shit real quick.
My bad.
Looked like it was about to rain, and I got my sister's dog outside and shit. Like I said, I stopped by her in her man's house right now to help them out with something while they're busy or doing whatever the hell they're doing. But yeah, I'm not trying to brag or say anything. I'm not proud of that shit. All I'm saying is that the opportunity, even when I isolated myself away from the streets and all that shit, the opportunity and the level of anger came up that made me want to do something for my past life. What did I do? I did nothing. I did nothing. And after doing nothing and concentrating on your plan, being in isolation and breaking your pattern, it came to me what to do. Nigga, use the law. I'm using you losers to move further into my paradise. I gotta make it to heaven for going through hell. I gotta make it to heaven. I hope I make it to heaven. Some say I'm paranoid. I say I'm careful how I choose my friends. I've been to ICU once, I ain't going again. Hold up. First, my uncle got murked. Then Cain got murked. You feel me? But that Dominican nigga is still in the hood. Why he ain't get hurt? I smell something fishy, dog. It might be right. Like, I should not relate to this shit at all. This is truly pattern breaking. This is in the blood. This is my grandfather building shells on ships to ship thousands of pounds of cocaine, thousands and thousands of pounds of weed, making secret compartments because he was known as a genius guy who could do that shit in Jamaica. This is coming from my uncle running Vox New York, being mentioned on 50s tracks and shit like that. And it's so weird. You're coming up as a young cat. You're a fan of G-Unit and shit. You're playing mixtapes, and this nigga's talking about your uncle, who never told you none of this shit. You feel me? And then I got to introduce him to that shit, and he got to hear that they were talking about him and talking about the twins that he put on. And let's not even get, because niggas, I don't want to say too much because shit was so real back then that a nigga still might have beef in their heart 40 fucking years later, dog. 20 years later. It still might be up, because I know me. I'm fighting every day not to go do things to certain people, dog. This is what I talk about when it's true pattern changing. Oh, hold up. We got Magical Family in the chat. I'm gonna get this in a second. This is what I mean by true pattern changing. It's never off of my back. I want revenge still, and I'm trying to let God handle it. And you niggas think simple, oh, we will do this and do that. No. You feel me? Shit that there ain't no statute of limitations and there ain't no limit. Once you go evil, and here's another thing when I was outside, I'm not saying I didn't do this or do that, things happened. And I usually sent the soldiers or whatever. But why I pull back from all that, and why I'm happy a nigga didn't die under my hand directly, is because to me, how I see things, once I kill a nigga, once I do something like that, I'm shooting everybody. I don't give a fuck. It's over. I've already taken a life. I'm there now. I'm gonna shoot your kids. I'm gonna shoot your mama, all types of shit. We going all the way there. You feel me? That's why I always wanted to stay away from that shit. You feel me? And we're doing it cold and calculated, without any worry about it. You feel me? I wanted to move away from that because I saw where it could go. I saw niggas were playing. You know what showed me that niggas were playing, they weren't serious? Because niggas would get into fights and talk all kinds of crazy shit, fights I've been in. But then once it's really up, and you really putting hands on a motherfucker, I let people into my life here. Even my mom, who comes from this street-ass background and shit, because I don't carry myself in a certain way, she tried to say that I'm scared or this or that or some shit like that. I'm like, are you a fucking idiot? Do you not remember having to come run out the house and come pull me off of niggas? I'm slamming their head against their fucking, the sword blade and shit, trying to crack their skulls open and shit. Bitch! No, my bad, excuse me, I love you, mom. Excuse me, I love you, mom, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to say, I try to stay in control of myself because once I decide it's up. Everything goes. People want to worry about consequences once you're in the shit. I'm worrying about consequences before I'm in the shit. Once I decide to be in the shit, I don't give a fuck about consequences. That's what always had me so safe in life in all these fights I had to be in, because if you notice, I'm not a very likable person. I'm not joining your tribe, your gang, or none of that faggot shit. I'm fighting the whole hood. Here's one thing that kept me very safe in this shit, and why this mentality was always with me. I don't know if it's because I was a kung fu movie nerd or into Japanese Bushido and shit like that, but this was always naturally in me. I was always I'm just telling the truth. I'm not scared, I was always nervous. I didn't like that, oh yeah, we're gonna meet up after school and fight. If I was feeling nervous through the whole day, I'm probably gonna find you and go take off on you or throw a desk at you or some shit in the school. I can't wait and be feeling, oh my God, I gotta fight at 3 o'clock or, no. You know what? And you know what, it sounds like I'm rambling, but it's just coming full circle. This shit's coming full circle. Constitute yourself to death for something that's not stupid. Because when I was in the streets, I constituted myself to death plenty of times, and I'm blessed and thankful that I made it through that shit. All the times I constituted myself to death. All the times I was like, I gotta do this, I'm doing it. I'm gonna deal with what comes after. You feel me? If this came out my mouth, I was gonna do it to you, I gotta do it to you. I don't care if a year goes by, 5 years go by. If it's from a slap to a punch, or if I told a nigga I'm gonna throw him up as far as the air as I can and see what happens. You feel me? I say that to say this. Plenty of us have done dumb shit, emotional shit, financially, economically motivated shit, and we constituted ourselves to death. You feel me? We constituted ourselves to death. How about you constitute yourself to death on your own terms? I'm gonna change, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna bring forth a new reality, or I'm gonna die. And this has to do with yourself. This ain't trying to prove this ain't trying to keep a certain reputation outside so niggas can't play with you. This ain't trying to, interpersonal relationship shit tied to your ego and how you're gonna do this. Because your ego, when you really constitute yourself to death for a goal, that's who you get to meet. You get to meet who the fuck you are. Are you really a bitch? Are you a quitter? No, there ain't nobody else here. There's no partners in this shit. There's no help. There's no nothing. You got to do this. Are you a bitch? Are you a quitter? Or are you God? And to all you weirdo religious motherfuckers who be watching my channel on the low, because I see you guys from the other sectors where I frequent and tell jokes sometimes. So you faggot motherfuckers, you super religious motherfuckers who want to make your little assumptions about me and this or that. I'm made in God's image, right? Don't tell me I can't operate under the same terms that nigga's operating under. You feel me? I know you niggas are watching. You niggas are dick suckers, dog. Here's another thing. I don't go to somebody else's house. Like when I go to other sectors on YouTube, I'd be there laughing and telling jokes. I don't want to go on your panels. I don't want to be one of your cartoon characters in your little world. None of that shit. I got my own world going on. You feel me? But I do see you little niggas with slick shit. You are just not important enough to respond to. You a bitch. You gotta understand this. You a bitch to me. And back in the days, when I was less empathetic, I might want to stand on your head just because you a bitch in the middle of the fucking street. But now I'm trying to break full pattern. Be more empathetic. Step into my role as a true teacher, a leader, a thought leader. You feel me? A builder. A constructor of time and space. Somebody who's constructing physical and non-physical things that are coming into conjunction with each other, and they're building upon each other. Is it raining? Oh, I might have to get this dog. Hold up, my bad. You know, I'm in the country and shit, so I think like it's mad noise. I thought it was a dog, but I think it's just shit falling out the tree on the house. All right. I haven't been looking at the chat, my bad. I've just been going off. I didn't even like this J. I feel like this conversation was needed. So, Magical Family says, you pressing charges and shit? Yeah, I'm pressing charges. And here's the thing, I'm very methodical about this shit. And people think because they come here this show, they come to this show and they hear me speaking, I might get loud and have fun and speak bombastic. You think I'm just a crazy nigga, which I am, but I'm calculated as fuck too. So yeah, I'm doing more than suing him. And I'm not, and see, if you notice, overall this time, I haven't mentioned the nigga's name, because you a bitch, nigga. You below me, nigga. You below me. You feel me? I'm doing more than suing him. I've already taken money out of his pocket, and I will never be specific to fuck up what I'm doing. You feel me? You bitch nigga, you probably listening to this. I will never be specific, but I've already taken money out of your pocket that you thought you were being slick with, and yes, everybody's gonna know about it in the end. I already took money out of your pocket you thought you were being slick with, and some of that money went into my pocket. Huh? Can you believe it? That money you were trying to be slick with and rob innocent people and shit like that? that I already corrected those people. I came and I became God and helped those people, and they blessed me from that. Can you believe that? That I already got paid from you? You faggot nigga? Nigga, I'm not done with you. The only reason you comfortable is because I want you comfortable. You a bitch. But I digress. What's good, Shaka? Good Shaka, a real nigga. A real one. And I was actually thinking about Shaka the other day because I watched those clips and I think I forgot to respond to you. From Mo Better Blues or something like that. I don't even think I texted you back. I gotta check that. Wait, Matt Graham said, that's why I gave my life to God, bro. Same. What do you mean by that? How long ago? Is this a new development? You know, and giving your life to God means different things to different people. You feel me? And I got into the mode on this. I didn't expect to be speaking this on, but you know, I got into the mode, and I gotta go pull up on my grandparents in an even more countryier part of Georgia, which I love going to. And when I'm there now, I just appreciate and love them so much for raising me in this environment. So I didn't have to. So I had real reality. I got to live real reality. I've been in so many multiverses. You feel me? I come from a family of black people who, the American side, who had money in New York. You feel me? Properties. So I went from a child when memories are very loose, or I don't really remember shit from being a kid. I remember that my great-grandfather was running numbers, and I was walking to the store with him, and then I found out later he's running numbers. I was a little ass kid. We'd always walk to this place. I didn't know where the fuck it was, and he would do something. There'd be a whole bunch of niggas in there loud and shit, and then we leave and get some money. And I heard he hit the hood lottery one time and got like fucking crazy bread. He hit the hood lottery one time, but he was running numbers in the hood. But all I remember is walking with my grandfather, being happy, and then we stopped. We go to this place where the niggas are loud, and he was doing whatever he was doing, and then we would leave there. And he'd always stop by the corner store, and then he'd get me an ice cream that looked like somebody. So you remember like the Hulk Hogan? There was an ice cream that would like look like Hulk Hogan, or he would give me the Ninja Turtle ice cream and had like the bubble gum as the eyeball. Yo, shout out to my great grandfather. And I want to apologize. This is not to you niggas. I want to apologize to everybody who ever treated me well for not being all that I could be because I was affected by the trauma of life. You feel me? And it's not an excuse because it still weighs on me all the time that I wasted being traumatized. You feel me? All the time that I wasted being traumatized. And non-confrontational is not the word because it's hard to say this now, and it's really crazy, especially when you're changing your life, when you're around your relatives from when you were younger. And when I was younger, everybody was calling, you're mean. Why are you so mean? You don't want to talk to him. I see through these niggas. I saw through these niggas when I was 5, 10 years old and shit like that. And it's crazy to be like almost a goddamn 40-year-old man and having people like my mother and other people in my family come to me like, you were right. You know, you were right. You told me that. Excuse me, I love you, Mom. My bad. Excuse me, I don't want to. Mother, I knew I was right a long ass time ago. I could see through these niggas. I could see through these bitches. Everybody who wasn't righteous since I was a child. You feel me? And since my opinion wasn't valued, even though I was right, I know I was right, and it was confirmed later in life that I was right, I just separated myself from these motherfuckers, you know? And that was not a good move. That was not a good move. You feel me? But it is what it is. I'm in hell. What do you want me to do? I'm in hell, nigga. What you want me to do? Let me light this up. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Let me check on this dog. Where you at? Hold on. Where you at? Where the hell's the dog at? Hold up. There he goes. He's all the way far back in the back of the yard. You know we in the country now, you can't come in. You're gonna kick the door. You know we're in the country and shit. The yard be big as hell. You gotta yell across the properties. You hear him crying at the door now. You gotta yell across the property to retrieve your canine. You feel me? Country life. You feel me? So what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was just being very honest and open about my life and shit. Something that other people think is like not smart, and they just lie all day online. I can't wait till I got this court paper and all this shit on official documentation, public record, so I can wash your ass all through the streets. And because trust me, nigga, because I sent you a demand letter and I know you received it. I sent you a demand letter. You have my email, my phone number, and all that shit. You could have hit me up and we could have came to some kind of resolution. You feel me? But you didn't do that. But I knew you talked to the other person. How do I know that? Don't worry about how I know that. I know everything. You bitch nigga. I know everything. I feel like Head Eyes. I control everything. You're cooked, nigga. You're cooked. Oh, my bad. Let me light up, yo. I'm having too much fun. But like I was saying, this isn't because I really personally dislike this guy. I never had any problem with this guy. He involved me in his life. And I'm going to show you, once you involve a good man, when you try to destroy a good man, God does his work. I am a hand of God. I'm a hand of God. You feel me? God does his work, and God works on his own time. And guess what? God also works in mysterious ways. I'm built in all the image of that shit, you dumb nigga. You feel me? I gave you the opportunity. You could have met the financial demand, and then we would have kept this private. Because guess what? I only made you that offer because you were below me. You were a bitch. You're not important. If you would have just met the financial demand easily, this would have went away, and I would have went to South America. And I even spoke on you. You could have went back to lying on the internet. You could have went back to lying on the internet and being a bitch. You feel me? But guess what? You haven't been on the internet since you knew shit was in motion. Ever since you got them demand letters, your faggot ass hasn't been on the internet at all. At all. Somebody who, nigga, let's not even talk about you, nigga. Just know you a bitch and it's over for you. You a bitch and it's over for you. You feel me? I don't forget shit. I just been working on shit way more important than you. But the whole thing I was saying is like, this guy is not that important to me. I'm not doing this to destroy him. I'm doing this to destroy all you niggas, you lying pieces of shit online, who think, and you know what, I don't even mind people coming up and living in their fantasies or being fake and shit. I don't mind all that. But when you're trying to present yourself as the realist, you're giving men advice and all that shit, nah, I gotta step on you, nigga. And don't think, at first, I was feeling kind of empathetic and gracious and shit and merciful. You know God's merciful and shit. I was feeling merciful. And I was like, yo, you know what? I'm over here, not trying, I am, pulling big thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars out of the air, which will compound into millions of dollars. I'm pulling that shit out of the air. I've learned how to tap into the matrix. I know how to read price. You feel me? Fuck these niggas. As long as the pussy don't ever come back on the internet again, I ain't never gonna say nothing about him. You feel me? But then I said, fuck that. I'm gonna step on you niggas like roaches. You feel me? You know how a nigga step on a bug and you be like it's dead, and you see a nigga, step on it way too hard? No. And shout out to what's his name? Because I don't always agree with dude, the saint and the sinner, but he's the only one out of all you internet niggas who've made any progress or delivered on anything he said he was gonna do. And he says this often: use a hammer to kill an ant. Use a hammer to kill an ant. I like that. And guess what, nigga? You're the ant. But I say that to say this. Don't be misled by the internet. This lends itself to my reoccurring topic of everything being fake. Everybody is being fake. And they think that I'm wrong for not being fake. Oh, he just tells all his life online. He lets everybody in his business, in his business. So what are you doing? You just lying? You just lying? And you lucky I'm busy, nigga. And I'm still considering, I'm gonna find your baby mama too. And I'm gonna interview that bitch. Cause I know you full of shit. And I can't wait. If I interview your baby mama, she gonna show what a hoe you really are. I can find that bitch easy. It's easy to find all this shit. Because I knew all your information before I found it out the legal way. Huh? Feel me? So I can say you're not allowed to be real. If you're real, you might embarrass yourself. Oh my God, I might embarrass myself around in front of random niggas on the internet, and the few niggas who aren't random, who I'm cool with, they know me well enough to know that I don't give a fuck. I can't imagine being these niggas on the internet. I don't respect none of these niggas who do this shit regularly. I can't imagine being one of these niggas trying to have a show and get super chats and all that shit, sucking dick, just lying every day. You know why you're lying? Because you're fearful. You're fearful of people knowing your reality. Guess what? Niggas know my reality and they can't do shit about it. Niggas know my reality and they can't do shit about it. They can't do shit about where I'm moving, where I'm going, and what I'm developing into. They can't do nothing about nothing. You're just a weak, powerless nigga. And I would never want to be like you. It's very weird. You feel me? To live in fear every day, telling a lie every day, trying to keep shit on the low every day. And I'm glad, Shaka, I'm glad Shaka's here. Because Shaka knows better than anybody else in the chat that I've been keeping shit super low. Super low. Not even having like little personal laughing at you behind the scene type shit. I've been keeping it super low. Nigga, I got a fucking folder on your ass, bitch nigga. I got folder on your ass. All types of evidence. And all I'm doing is, because if I would have crashed out earlier, I would have fucked up my case. Because it's not 100%, but you would have had an argument for jurisdiction from things that I recorded. Because I was trying to get to the bottom of it, but you might have an argument through jurisdiction. Even though I think I'm out of that jurisdiction, or whatever I do, being a party of it is totally legal. But you know what? I said I'm such a square, and I'm changing my life to such a level that I'm not even playing with that shit. Even though that shit buries you under the ground, and understand that I still have that shit, and that shit might get leaked. A nigga might hack my phone. That shit might get leaked. Pussy nigga. I really slapped the fuck out of you, nigga. Let me calm down. Whew. Let me calm down. You know, I'm a square. I'm a trader. I wake up very early. I analyze price charts. You feel me? I'm concerned with price and levels, and you know, I'm not one of those guys. Why would I fight you guys? I'm not gonna do anything to anybody. Damn, I've been here too long. What the fuck? Hold up. Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go. I'm gonna go soon. I'm not a senior, so nobody can come up. But I wanna let Shaka know. I wanna let Shaka know that I appreciate him. I really got love for the nigga, a stand-up nigga. You feel me? And if you don't like me calling you nigga, you're a brother. Cause I know one thing I noticed. Maybe these passport bros or whatever have given you guys a bad depiction. But when I'm overseas, I will never call a black man nigga ever. It's kind of crazy, right? When I'm overseas, and I could be anywhere, we could be dealing in underworld activities, quote unquote. I could be at the spa or some shit like that. You feel me? Waiting for the lineup of bitches who I only know by number to come out. 27 bitches coming out, and I gotta write down a number to remember which of it. We might be in that environment. You feel me? And what is it? It's like, yo, what's good, brother? You can feel the energy. We are pattern breaking niggas. We are people who have moved outside of our normal reality to do something different and do something cool. Or just, I'm not even saying these are good men. I'm just saying at least you know they're progressive in some way. And we always greet each other with, yo, what's good, brother? Blah, blah, blah. There's a camaraderie. There's a camaraderie. You feel me? I want to say the plain brown rapper. He's one of the realists. Actually, I might need to talk to you behind the scenes, plain brown rapper. I think we should do a show, dog. Because you have a lot of knowledge and you're a funny dude. You feel me? And you have that's basically the perfect person to do a show with. You got a lot of knowledge, you're a funny dude, you're serious, but you're not that serious. It makes sense. And Plain has offered, and it's crazy how he's offered parts of his life is connected to conversations and things that we've had and shit like that, and it's connected more to things that we've been observing, meaning my circle of people, or people who I would consider on the same path at the time where we've been discussing things. I'm not going to say the exact names, maybe you don't want that out there, but even the organization that you were a part of when you were younger and how they were trying to bring you in, and it was just, all my theories have been confirmed through real life primary sources. And I appreciate you for that. I appreciate you for that. The Magical family already knows. Hold on. Is it raining? Oh, yeah, I gotta get this dog. My bad. My bad. My bad. The Magical family already knows. He appreciate. I appreciate that nigga. He probably appreciates me or whatever. You feel me? Yo, Jupiter, come on. Big ass, back up, dog. Big ass bloodhound. Get the fuck out of here. All right. I like him. He's cool, but he's a puppy, and I'm not a big ass puppy, and I'm not used to dealing with puppies anymore. It's annoying. But yeah, I was saying that to Magical Family, I can't say enough. I can't say enough, and I'll leave it there. I got love for all my real dogs. You feel me? All my real dogs, and Magical Family might be aware, may not be aware, because we know people mutually in real life and shit like that. But I disconnected myself from all those people. And you know what? We need to have a conversation. We can have it on the show or we can have it in private. I did what was necessary for myself mentally to achieve the goal that I had. You feel me? And I realized that there is only me. You feel me? As the great artist and poet and composer Chief Keef once said, at the top, it's just us, nigga. And I don't really trust niggas. You feel me? The great artist, poet, orator, composer of our time, Chief Keefington, as he said before, at the top, it's just us, nigga. And I don't really trust niggas. You feel me? And I know that Halo, before we, put it this way, I met Halo through music before I even knew what the nigga looked like. I mean, Magical Family, whatever. Before I knew what the nigga even looked like, we had a connection. So he been observing, I'm not saying you watch it, no, I'm not saying you watch it or nothing like that. I'm saying you've been observing my progress. Before I knew you personally, just because of social media, you could see that everything I said lines up with what was happening through time. You feel me? That's why other niggas can't have shows like this. You can't have people who you know in the chat kicking it. Yo, you're bugging, dog. Hold up. Yo, give me a second. Yo, move. You gonna bite me? Hold out the way. Hold on. Yo, give me a second. I gotta get a dog some water. I'm not giving you too much. You're gonna fucking piss up the place, dog. Here. Oh, yeah. Fucking my light at. Yeah, I was saying with Magical Family, he's seen the rise and he's seen the progress. And it was very interesting when I found out who he actually was and his rise to infamy. You feel me? It made me realize that this life is not random, especially if you're intentional with the way that you're moving through life. And I'm not gonna get to a whole Magical Family conversation. That nigga's the next level nigga, man. That my brother, King, you feel me? All progressive people making something happen. Wait. You're not allowed to be real. My bad. I'm not really reading the chat. I really don't like the word, but I say it out of bad old habits. I think nigga is almost like art at this point. And art can be nostalgic and it can also be destructive. You feel me? And it's not because, put it this way, after being back here in Georgia around my family and things, I'm seeing like a lot of where my good traits came from, where my negative traits come from, and sometimes your good and your bad traits can come from the same person. And you can see a person older than you, and they haven't realized it, or maybe this is just a spark I have in myself. They don't see the benefit of trying. That doesn't mean they're not successful. They're successful in the mundane terms, a big literal mansion, you feel me, from where my people came from. Like, if you want to be literal, I guess I grew up in a mansion when I was a little kid. And then later in life, my other people in my family acquired mansions. If you want to go by square footage and value and where it is or whatever. You feel me? Hold on. Yo, man. And I realized acquiring mundane things in life, it is not what is drawing you. Yes, I love luxury. People know this. There is a history and a record of me indulging in luxurious activities. I love luxury. But I know that's not important to me. My bad, smoking. But even with all that I've done and things and this and that, I'm still not satisfied with life. And I can see myself, if I make it to old age, deteriorating, dying in a hospital bed or wherever the fuck I am. I don't want to be scrunched up, face pissed off. You know, those people, oh, they get at the end of their life, though, it's all love, it's all love. I can see myself still being pissed off, like, nigga, just let me die. Let me die and see what's coming next, pussy nigga. I can see myself thinking this shit. And I feel like that is a part of my pattern break, and that may come, it may not come. You feel me? And I say that, I know I'm rambling, but this all goes with Shaka's comment. You cannot speak without thinking. You know this, obviously. Or maybe you can make some noise, but then you even thought about making noise and not words. You feel me? So, you can, let me say this simply. Changing pattern begins in the mind, and it also begins with the words, the vibration that's being put into this world. So if you've been engaging in the same pattern of the same vernacular, it's directly connected to your thought. So if you decide to change your vernacular, you will by default change your mind, because you will be forced to be observant and conscious of what you're thinking. That's why changing how you speak is a beautiful way to get into your mind, because it forces you to become aware, conscious, and observant of how you're thinking. You feel me? But yeah, I appreciate, damn, can I chat in here? Hold on. Can I say something in the chat? Chat filter, because I can see the chats, but when you're on the phone, I don't know how to share with your audience. All right, I see it here. Will it drop a link? Hold up, that shit didn't do nothing, man. My bad. I gotta figure it out. Hold up, that shit didn't do nothing, man. My bad. I gotta figure it out. Prince Simp has my number. You feel me? Prince Simp has my number. That's funny to say. You go in. FOMBUTM. All right, but yeah, I've been here way too long, but this has been a productive, interesting conversation. If I don't stop, I'm never gonna stop. Shout out to everybody. Love to everybody who loves me. And I pray the power of change and betterment for people who don't love me. Because if you don't love me, you're a crazy nigga. And Shaka knows better than most people that there are crazy, insane niggas out there who you don't have to do nothing to them, you don't have to cross them, you don't have to disrespect them, nothing. You don't have to disrespect them, nothing. And they're gonna throw your name into evil. You feel me? And you have to be better than that, because you were better than them in the first place. That's why they brought your name up. Because you're better than them. These are lowly, disgusting, weirdo niggas. You feel me? And I don't see how niggas can't understand this. If you watch my show long enough, you come over here, we might make fun of somebody here or there, but ain't nobody important to us. We're not standing on nobody's head over here in the middle of the street. Even popular niggas, if we try to clout chase off of them over here, the show ends up being weird and interesting because it's just being honest. Remember when I did the show in defense of Cooley? Nigga, when I started that show, I was really trying to defend Cooley. But yo, man, 90 minutes, man, way too long. Yo, I got love for you niggas. We all gonna make it. You feel me? At the top, it's just us, nigga. And I don't really trust niggas.